Listening is not the same as hearing. Hearing has been referred to as the sounds that you hear, whereas listening requires more than that. It requires focus and the processing of information. It is sometimes called active listening. It is active listening that we turn our attention to here, and thankfully it is a skill that can be taught and developed. Many would agree that listening is key to all effective communication, whether at home, at school, or in the workplace. It is certainly a skill we should provide opportunities for our children to master. Many successful individuals, leaders and entrepreneurs credit their success to effective listening skills. If a person is not listening carefully, they can misunderstand a message, miss out on key information that may lead to a misconception being learned, or even endanger themselves or others. We asked some of our teachers how listening is developed in their classroom.
Always making sure that the children are looking where they should be, giving them lots of opportunities to work in a group is always good, and making sure that they know how to listen carefully, so stop what they're doing, fiddling, making sure that they're giving each other eye contact, and also responding to each other.
In Key Stage 1 then, it is about students being given the chance to be able to hear, focus on and follow simple instructions. As they become more skilled listeners, they can follow more complex instructions and even share stories or information they have heard or offer opinions. Towards the end of primary school, the good listener will begin to identify language used. For example, to persuade and engage an audience. They may be able to summarise the main points of what they have heard and be working towards developing strategies to listen even more effectively, whatever the situation. Being able to listen carefully is clearly valued as a positive behaviour and one teachers worldwide encourage in their classrooms. Good listening is obviously linked to more effective learning in the classroom. In the workplace, it is equally valued. Many companies provide skills training in this area for their employees. Some of our enterprising students were keen to tell us why listening carefully is important.
You need to listen carefully so that you know what you're doing, because if you don't listen carefully, you'll get confused and you won't know what to do. You need to listen carefully, because if you don't listen carefully, then you wouldn't know what to do, and then you will struggle on what to write and what.
The students were also quite clear about what poor listening looks like.
You can tell how somebody isn't listening carefully, but when you're sitting on the carpet and Miss is telling you something, then the other person sees you, they'll tell you to be quiet because you're being disrespectful and you're being quite rude. You know how someone is listening carefully to you because they are looking at you and they're fidgeting with something, or they might be talking to another person while the other person is talking.
Listening carefully is a crucial aspect of a child's learning journey. Upon entry to school, children are expected to listen to and absorb vast amounts of information, instructions, notices, curriculum content, and teacher or peer feedback, for example. However, while good listening is almost universally encouraged in classrooms, it is often expected without ever actually being taught. Enabling Enterprise have put together a guide to support teachers to ensure that activities to facilitate the development of this essential skill can be included into their everyday teaching and learning opportunities. As adults, we all know it is highly desirable to be able to listen carefully for a whole host of reasons, in various situations, for different ends. We need to make it crystal clear to our children from their early years what listening carefully actually means. They need to be provided throughout the primary years with explicit teaching and learning opportunities to see what a good listener does, and countless experiences to practice active listening. It is important that teachers and children alike see that we can all get better at listening, that they see the skill of listening can be taught and developed. By the time our children leave school and move on to further education or employment, it will certainly make their lives easier if they are fully equipped in this vital communication skill.